Apple has had ongoing issues with AI implementation in their product. This is a known thing from Apple. They did a keynote a while back showcasing a bunch of AI tools that still don't exist because they were never ready to ship. Even the demo didn't look that great. Apple typically only presents things if they're super polished and pristine, so seeing them present the AI tools that they did was pretty surprising because they weren't good. And ever since that presentation, Apple's been trying to catch up to other companies, even though in general, this tech really is kind of like against Apple's whole ordeal. Apple is all about making things easy and simple, and AI is the opposite of that. It lies to you most of the time. So it's a little weird that Apple's been trying to push so much into AI, but it also kind of makes sense because I'm sure shareholders and investors are demanding Apple get involved in AI because of how big of a hype train it is, even though this technology will probably go nowhere as of now. It is really just a big, massive bubble that will eventually pop. And I'm sure when the bubble actually pops, we'll actually get some useful tools. Like, there are useful AI tools now, but it's really much in its infancy. There's not a lot of useful things. Like, ChatGPT will just lie to you all of the time. Its most effective thing is sending people into AI psychosis. That is the most effective thing to use ChatGPT for. But reportedly, one of the senior directors for Apple's AI projects is leaving within a month. And that spells really bad news for these AI projects, because if the director is leaving, he probably thinks there's not much hope for this project, because this guy was at Apple for 12 years. He's not some new guy who came in. He's been there for a while. He's always been on the Siri team working on AI adjacent things. So if he's leaving Apple, this project must be in pretty dire straits, because I don't see the reason why this guy would leave if everything was going fine. Now, of course, he could have left for different reasons, but Apple also recently just lost a bunch of AI talent to Meta. So it is looking like Apple is just losing the AI race as a whole, because they're losing all the people who work on their AI products. And in the grand scheme of Apple, this probably really isn't a big deal. Like, there's a very low chance that AI becomes a huge thing that if you didn't get in on, you're screwed, because honestly, the tech is not that great. Like, it is absurd there are so many people okay with like hallucinations from AI when it just shouldn't ever happen. Like, it is crazy that you can ask an AI for the recent news and it'll just make up entire news stories and fabricate fake links that don't work. Like, that's crazy. In no world should the AI decide to make up news articles when plenty exist. It could just pull them from the internet, but no, it decided to make up a bunch of them and give me fake sources that take me to dead web pages. Stuff like that should never happen with this kind of software, but there's lots of people that let that kind of stuff slide because they're super hyped about the technology. Like, there are entire groups of people that think AI is some kind of space baby that we have to raise up into adulthood so it can become our god. There's people like that. They exist, and they're not in small numbers either. There's a concerning amount of people that share that kind of worldview. Now, that's not majority of people. A lot of people who like AI just like dating their AI. That's a huge cohort of people who like AI, or they use it for like emotional support or whatever. But in general, this kind of technology is just not very useful. Like, it's not really good at doing a lot of things. And if you do want to use it for higher level applications, for example, like if you're trying to program with an AI, you have to know the jargon to tell it what to do. And if you don't know the jargon, it won't do it. Like, you can't just tell an AI, make this server secure, because it doesn't know what secure is. It doesn't know what the steps needed to do to make something secure is. So it probably won't hurt Apple too much to not get involved in AI, but they really shouldn't have announced it like they did, because now everyone's pissed off at them. Like, Apple's being sued by shareholders for overstating how good the AI would be, because yeah, it can't do anything that it was promised to do, like at all. All of Apple's AI escapades have resulted in losses and public backlash and no actual product. It's kind of sad. Like, they've gotten all the negatives of AI with absolutely zero of the positives, because no one likes Apple AI. It's not good. The Apple demos were not good, and Siri is still brain dead. Siri is genuinely one of the worst AI assistants you could ever ask for. She's horrible. She's a terrible AI assistant. So I would be kind of surprised if Apple still goes ahead with AI stuff. I think they might just can it as a whole at this point, because there's been like no recent news of any actual AI stuff coming. And on top of that, everyone's pissed at them for it. Like, no one likes Apple AI stuff. And at the end of the day, too, if Apple's AI division just collapsed, there'd be no real loss to Apple at all. Apple does not make their money off of AI. They make their money off of iPhones and things that people buy on their iPhone. Like, the App Store has a 30% cut for anything sold in the App Store. Apple is raking in the money. They do not need AI to make any money at all. And if you look at the actual profit of AI companies all of them lose money. Apple venturing into AI will probably just end up with them losing a bunch of money. That's probably the only thing that will happen. So if Apple just ended up dropping it here, there'd be no real losses for Apple, and they might end up just doing that because, yeah, losing the senior director is really bad. But I could also see Apple dumping billions of dollars into AI for like 10 plus years because they kind of already did that with Apple Car. Apple Car was a secret self-driving car project that Apple's working on for like over a decade, and they just ended up canceling it at one point, but they were blowing like over $1 billion a year on it. Like, they were spending ludicrous amounts of money for a product that never ended up releasing and never actually went anywhere. So it wouldn't surprise me if Apple kept losing money on the AI stuff, but I doubt they're gonna keep flaunting it as much as they have been in the past because they lost the senior director for AI at Apple. That's really bad. But at the end of the day, I really don't care that Apple does not have AI on their phones because I wouldn't use it anyways. But what do you think? Let me know in the comments down below. Like and subscribe if you're new, and click the notification bell to check out more of my content, and have a good one.